Aligning your mindset with the frequency of opportunities is very important when it comes to manifestation, materializing, and understanding your life purpose, and ultimately creating fulfillment and happiness throughout your life. Now, I've discussed the trinity of manifestation, the mind, the body, and the spirit, and what these things actually generate, that they are not who you are, but they are in fact tools that you, consciousness, uses along the path of self-realization and coming into the understanding that you are the creator of your universe. Now, we've discussed that the mind, it generates thought. Your body, it generates movement and action. And your spirit or your soul generates emotions, and how those three things work together completely to actually create a synergy of movement, motivation, action, thoughts, and actually propelling you forward along the trajectory of you materializing that which you desire. Now, the path of self-realization and coming into the understanding of who you are, the creator of your universe, is a path of materializing and manifesting various things along the journey. And every time you materialize and manifest something, you come closer and closer into this self-realization. But along the way, you have to recognize exactly how to use these tools and, in fact, how to direct them, okay? And today we're going to talk about the mind and mindset in particularly, because a lot of times when it comes to spirituality or metaphysics, we tend to separate mindset. We tend to make that almost a separate category or separate philosophy or way of thinking. But mindset is very important. Your mind is a very important aspect of you going along this journey of spirituality. The mind is a thought machine. Your mind creates solutions. It gives you answers to problems. It helps you to strategize and figure out what works best for you. And that's what's really important about this particular instruction or this particular thought or teaching, is that you have to recognize and analyze the patterns, the ways, the environment by which your consciousness is existing in order for you to analyze and come up with solutions and answers as to what's going to get you to your desire. And so mindset is very important, because how you set your mind to actually move forward is what's actually going to begin this process, begin the process of materialization, begin the process of learning how to align your thoughts and your emotions with right action to actually materialize and create the thing that you want. So getting back to mindset, the mindset is very important because it is the foundation. If you have the wrong kind of mindset, you won't even get started in this process at all. If you have the wrong kind of mindset, you will just simply follow along with the ego and follow along with what your parents or your family has taught you about various things, and may be unproductive or really problematic and really are not going to support you in actually moving forward with the things that you are intrigued by and that you're passionate about and the things that you kind of really wish you can pursue. But when your mind is aligned with consciousness, who you truly are, and understanding that that is your mission, is to tap into consciousness and thus tap into your true purpose, then you understand that, okay, if I align my mind, if I align my brain and what it is capable of doing with consciousness, then I can figure out how to get from where I am with my existence, is expressing and experiencing, and align it with what it is that I'm really supposed to be living, right? Who I really am, okay? So you have to understand that your mind is a tool to actually figure out strategically how you're going to get from point A to point B to point C and all the way down to Z, right? You want to figure out what it is that you need to do. And so it is important that you understand how to tap into aligning your frequency with the thing that you desire, right? Aligning your mind with that frequency. When you understand how to do that, then you are starting the journey in a way that sets down a solid foundation for you to move forward in life, to move forward and actually do the things that you wish to do. Because that's what life is about, doing the things that you wish to do, that you desire. And so your mindset, you have to understand, has to be directed. Your mind has to be directed. You cannot just take for granted that whatever is happening in the world is going to serve you. Though, yes, the grand scheme of things, the universe is here to serve you. But you have to acknowledge that sometimes things are meant to distract you or going to distract you, or people who are not aligned with what it is that you desire, they're going to pull you away from what it is that you are meant to do because they're not there for themselves, right? Or they're just focused on what they need to do and they just want you to help them. But you have to be clear for yourself and you have to take full responsibility and accountability over your fulfillment and your happiness, right? So you have to understand that your mind needs to be directed toward that. And everything that's happening around you and in the world, if it doesn't serve that purpose, if it doesn't feed your mind to help your mind to figure out, learn, to adapt, right? To make adjustments in order for you to move forward in that trajectory, then basically all those things are pointless. So you have to acknowledge that. What are you consuming? What are you taking in? What are your surroundings? What's your environment? Who are you associating with? What are you reading? What are you watching? Right? All of those things matter because all those little things accumulate into your curated reality. And your curated reality or environment is the soil by which the seeds that you wish to plant, right? Your desires will actually grow. And now if you're not being mindful about your environment in that soil, then guess what? The seed, your desire, will not grow. It will not manifest. It will not materialize. So you have to really take seriously the significance of having the right mindset. You have to set your mind in the direction of that which you desire. Now, this doesn't mean you have to lay out and have all the answers laid out in front of you. It doesn't mean that you have to draw this map that is crystal clear and all the answers are there. What it means is that you are doing your best with what you have and what you know. What it means is that you're taking responsibility for the tools that you have available to you and you're using them the best way possible. And as you use these tools, mind, body, spirit, your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, if you are doing those the best way possible, then you are going to align and you're going to even advance because you're going to get better, you're going to get stronger, you're going to improve as time goes on, as long as you are being mindful about using these tools. So in order to match your mind to the frequency of seeing the opportunities, creating the opportunities, you have to really take responsibility over that, right? So there are certain exercises that I recommend. One is being mindful about what you're consuming in. Being mindful about not consuming in a lot of negative things, a lot of pessimistic things, things that are going to put you in a space of thinking lack, right? You want to really surround yourself with optimism, positivity. Now, a lot of people think that surrounding yourself with optimism or positivity means that you're not being quote unquote realistic. Well, we don't want to be realistic. Realistic is the evidence of things that were achieved by other people. You want to achieve something completely different that is exclusively to you. So it's not based on the reality of other people, okay? And because you are on this path of materializing this thing, it's likely you haven't materialized it before. So you cannot use the words like realistic to support you along this process. You don't want to be realistic because being realistic, the reality that you are existing in, is a reality that resulted in you not being fully fulfilled. So now we want to do something different. So we don't want to be realistic. We want to be unrealistic. We want to change reality as we see it. So you have to have that mindset and you have to surround yourself with a space where anything is possible because it is, okay? Now, once you start to actually create and curate an environment that supports you being and creating the quote unquote impossible because everything is possible, Now you're going to start doing particular exercises that's going to help you. One thing that I recommend is writing down your goals and writing down how you see you can start, especially starting, right? What can you do right at this very moment? And then if you can see what can you do steps afterwards, as far ahead as possible, then I would write those things down as well. And write those things down often, because the more you write those things down, you see, the thing is, you are tapping into a frequency. Recognize that when you are tapping into your thoughts, you're using your thoughts, your emotions, when you're generating energy by movement, action, moving your body, you are basically creating vibrations. And the more you use these vibrations, right, you are dialing in to a particular frequency, all right? To this point in life, you have dialed into a particular frequency because you have been doing a particular thing. You have been speaking a particular way, right, which has a vibration associated with it. You have been feeling a particular way, which has a vibration associated with it. You have been taking or not taking particular actions, which results in a frequency, right? So now we want to own the fact that, okay, now I have to take ownership over the frequency, the vibration, of what it is that I desire. So your vibration is basically the state of mind or the state of existence that you are in, what you're thinking, feeling, and what you're doing. All right. And then there's a lot of nuances in between that, right? And then you want to understand that you are learning to vibrate at a certain place to match a frequency. The frequency is the result that you desire. And so as you learn and you are mindful about how you feel, how you think, what you're doing, you're learning to really vibrate at a certain frequency, which will result in what it is that you desire because you matched that frequency of that thing. So you have to constantly practice self-awareness along this journey. This is why mindset is important. Mindset is important because you say, okay, this is how I see myself creating this. This is the direction I'm going to go. And as you go that direction, as you ignite and you think about the feelings that you are going to have when you create and manifest this thing, when you are aligning your actions, right? The action that you feel align with this thing. You are changing and you are calibrating your vibration. And as you are calibrating your vibration, you are observing. You are constantly observing. And you're constantly observing to see what exactly is the ratio for you to actually match a particular frequency, which is the result, the thing that you desire. So constantly understand that this is about adjusting, seeing patterns, recognizing, and being aware that every time you do something, you're going to get closer and closer to the materialization of the thing that you desire, which is on a particular frequency. You just have to learn how to match that frequency. So be patient with yourself because that's very important. But as you go along, recognize that your mindset, the way you set the direction for your mind to go is very important because that lays the groundwork for everything else. Your mindset and your thoughts must go in the same direction most of the time. That will lead to high vibrational emotions and high vibrational action. And once you start doing that, then you lay down the true groundwork to materialize and come into the understanding as to who you truly are, being the creator of your universe. Thank you so much. Feel free to go to drabundant.com, subscribe to my daily newsletter, and get access to this free ebook, The Power Within. Continue to join me on this journey. Peace and abundance always.